Welcome to today's video, where we'll be taking a deep dive into one of the most iconic maps in first-person shooter games, Dust 2 in Counter-Strike. We'll be discussing the map layout, key areas of the map, strategies for playing effectively, and some tips and tricks for mastering Dust 2. First, let's talk about the map layout. Dust 2 is a classic Counter-Strike map that has been around for over 20 years. The map is set in the Middle East and consists of two bomb sites, labeled A and B, that the terrorists must try to plant explosives at, while the counter-terrorists must try to prevent the bombs from being planted or defuse them once they have been planted. The map is designed with balance in mind, meaning that both the terrorists and the counter-terrorists have an equal chance of winning. There are various paths leading to both bomb sites, as well as choke points, long and short A, mid doors, and tunnels. These areas create opportunities for close-quarter combat, as well as long-range sniping and strategic play. One of the most critical areas of the map is mid, which connects the two bomb sites. This area is essential for both the terrorists and counter-terrorists, because it allows them to rotate quickly between the two sites. The mid area is divided into two main sections, mid doors and lower tunnels. The mid doors are the wide-open area in the middle of the map that allows for long-range shooting, while the lower tunnels provide a more enclosed space that is ideal for close-range combat. Another critical area of the map is the long A area, which leads to bomb site A. This area is often used for long-range sniping and is an excellent position for both terrorists and counter-terrorists. The short A area is another vital location that leads to bomb site A. This area is a tight corridor that often leads to intense close-quarters battles. The B bomb site is also crucial, with several routes leading to it, including the tunnels, window, and door. The B site is often considered more difficult to defend than the A site due to the multiple entry points, so it's essential to have good communication with your team to cover all angles effectively. Now let's talk about some strategies for playing effectively on Dust 2. As we mentioned earlier, communication is key. Make sure to communicate with your team about the positions of the enemies, which bomb site to go to, and which angles to cover. It's also essential to have a plan of attack or defense before the round starts to maximize your chances of success. Another key strategy is to use the terrain to your advantage. Dust 2 has many obstacles and areas that you can use for cover and concealment. Take advantage of these areas to avoid enemy fire and catch your opponents off guard. It's also important to vary your playstyle depending on the situation. For example, if you're defending the A-bomb site, you may want to hold back and use long-range weapons to pick off the enemies. Alternatively, if you're attacking the B-bomb site, you may want to rush in quickly to catch your opponents off guard. Now, let's talk about some tips and tricks for mastering Dust 2. One of the most important things you can do is to practice your aim and reaction time. Dust 2 has many opportunities for long-range sniping and quick close-quarter combat, so it's essential to be able to react quickly and accurately. Another tip is to pay attention to your surroundings. Dust 2 is a detailed map with many different areas and obstacles, so make sure to pay attention to where you are and where the enemies might be hiding. Finally, it's crucial to work well with your team. Dust 2 is a team-based game, and success often depends on how well you work together. Make sure to communicate with your team and coordinate your actions to maximize your chances of success. This means that you should share information about enemy positions, coordinate your attacks and defenses, and support each other when needed. In addition to these tips, there are also some specific strategies that you can use to gain an advantage on Dust 2. For example, one popular tactic is the catwalk rush, where the terrorist team rushes the A site through the catwalk area. Another popular strategy is to use smoke grenades to create cover and confusion, allowing your team to advance without being detected. Ultimately, the key to success on Dust 2 is to be adaptable and strategic. Pay attention to the movements of your opponents and adjust your strategy accordingly. Whether you're defending a bomb site or attacking one, be flexible and open to new approaches to maximize your chances of success. In conclusion, Dust 2 is one of the most iconic and beloved maps in the history of first-person shooter games. Its balanced design, strategic layout, and varied terrain make it a challenging and rewarding map to play. By using effective strategies, paying attention to your surroundings, and working well with your team, you can master Dust 2 and become a force to be reckoned with in Counter-Strike. So go out there, practice, and have fun mastering one of the greatest maps in gaming history.